The Republican Party's latest assault on voting rights might actually prevent married women from being able to cast their vote. I'm not kidding. This is the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, known as the SAVE Act, that was reintroduced by Texas Republican Representative Chip Roy. And it would amend the National Voter Registration Act to ensure that all the people registering to vote are U.S. citizens. Now, what could be the problem there? You ask. I don't want foreign nationals coming in and voting in our election. Nobody does. But at the same time, there's no evidence of that happening. Uh, but how would this bill prevent them from doing so? Well, it would require people, voters, to present in person documentation as proof of citizenship when registering to vote. Now, you could register to vote online currently. With this, you wouldn't be able to. You would have to go and bring your birth certificate or other approved ID to say, hey, yeah, I'm registering to vote. So now, of course, this argument is based on the lie for this bill that millions of undocumented people have been voting in elections. Oh my God, they're voting illegally in elections. They shouldn't be voting here. Okay, but the problem is that there's not a single shred of evidence that this is actually occurring, that millions of undocumented immigrants are swaying our elections. And let me give you a small example of that. Let's look at Georgia, right? Georgia, very important. There was an audit in Georgia in the counties that happened in 2024. It found that out of 8.4 million registered voters, 20, not 20,000, not 20 million, obviously, that'd be way more. No, 20 non-citizens had attempted to vote. 20. That is 0.00024% of the state's voter list. All 20 of them, by the way, were referred to law enforcement and had no effect on the election whatsoever. 20 out of 8.4 million. So that's how widespread apparently our non-citizen voting problem is. Of course. Now that said,
just forget about the evidence.
That's what they say when you tell Republicans about this. Okay. All right. Point taken. But you ask, how will this affect women? You said that it's going to stop women from voting. How would this affect women? So remember the documentation that I was talking about? Well, much of the documentation that the SAVE Act counts as proof is really based on your birth certificate, okay? Which would have to match the person registering to vote, both first name and last name. So obviously that's already going to knock transgender people out, because a lot of transgender people, have previously changed their names from their birth name or dead name, okay, to a new name, right? That's fine. But that kicks them out of voting too, if this passes. But it would also kick out the 69 million married women in the United States. How? Because their last name wouldn't match. If you changed your legal name since getting married, well, then that would be enough to prevent you from voting. It's not a match. Oh, look at that. Oh, see, you started out with the name Baker, but now you changed it to Smith. Oh, mismatch. Must be a foreign national or something. Illegal. Throw it out. It's exactly what would happen, too. But wait a minute. Can't you just show them the proof that you were married? Like a marriage certificate, right? No. The SAVE Act does not include the proof of name change or a marriage certificate as acceptable proof of your identity. So the very thing that could prove that you are who you say you are, can't use it. Can't even show the evidence. They're not interested. The end, meaning that you are not allowed to vote now. Oh, sorry, you got married, change your name. Doesn't match your birth certificate. We don't accept your proof. So, SOL, go F off or something. Yeah. So that's the reality. All right. Now, here's the irony, right? So, like, oh my God, that 69 million women will not be able to vote. That'll actually end up hurting Republicans more. How? How? Well, it turns out that a Pew study found that more Republican than Democratic women choose to change their name after getting married. Now, this will hurt, Democratic women who change their name, but it turns out Republican women adopt their husband's name more often. Or, there's the hyphenation, right? But some women on the Democratic side keep their, maiden name even after they get married. So they wouldn't be affected by this. Oops. Um, Now, the SAVE Act also does accept valid passports as proof of ID. However, once again, this doesn't help Republican voters. The states with the fewest number of people with the passports are West Virginia, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. All these states, of course, voted for President Donald Trump in 2024. That's right. And of course, the other thing is it's not going to affect non-married women who tend to be younger and more left-leaning. They would still be able to vote under this. And so,
Whoopsie.
but here's the thing, though. Could you imagine the kind of uprising that would happen among women, all women, by the way, if this bill got signed into law? If you prevented 69 million women from voting? Oh, and you would bet that there'd be so many divorces. And of course, who would get married? No woman in their right mind would be like, I don't know, F you, I'm not getting married. I'm not giving up my voting rights. Just get married to your ass. No, not going to happen. So you would think, of course, that Chip Roy would have thought about this, right? Would have, made it so that at least that there's acceptable proof that you could present. Turns out, no. Here's what he told Newsweek. Quote, "This is absurd armchair speculation being spun up by media outlets who care more about clicks than reality. This bill isn't being attacked because it'll exclude citizens from voting. It won't." Yeah, it would. "It's being attacked because the policy is widely popular with the American people. Its opponents want and need illegals to vote, and they'll use anything they can to attack it." Once again, very, very few cases of non-citizens attempting to vote. Okay. The he talks about how, it's armchair speculation. No, the entire thing about massive amounts of illegal people who are voting, that's way more than armchair speculation. That's just pure fantasy. Okay. There are so few cases of non-citizens attempting to vote. That's just the reality. Okay. So you are arguing against reality, and ironically, you're going to be harming mostly a lot of people on your own side and keeping them from voting. This would, again, make it significantly more difficult for women who are married to register to vote. But I think that is the point. Okay. Look, I've been saying for a while, Republicans do not want anyone except for straight white men to hold political power and to be able to vote. Hell, let's add in straight white Christian, cisgender, and landowning men. That's what they want. That's what they want to go back to. They're regressives. Okay, and so I've heard Republicans openly support. Yeah, let's get rid of the 19th Amendment, women's suffrage. And so those people, they love this bill. And look, I've heard people talking about this, and it's an anecdote, right? But I have heard people talk on the right where they're like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, households shouldn't get one vote. The men's vote. That's it. Wait, what? Why? Well, I believe that households should be united in their politics. I mean, why would you marry someone if you have different political values? I mean, it's called freedom, for one. Everybody should have a vote. But yeah, no, they're like, well, if they don't have shared values, then why are they together? Well, look, if this goes through, if this somehow gets passed, guaranteed that those households will not be together much longer. Okay. Assuming, of course, they don't first gut no fault divorce. That's another thing that they have openly talked about that. Okay. Oh, yeah, we got to get rid of no fault divorce so that women cannot leave. Okay. Once they get married and they can't vote. That's the ultimate goal here. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, bills like this show you that Republicans want women to have zero political power because they do not believe that women are equal people. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.